10 fragrances I'm excited to wear this autumn season. Hi guys, I'm Tiago. Welcome back to my channel. Here we talk about fragrances, and today I would like to talk to you about 10 of the fragrances that I'm the most excited to wear this autumn season. These are 10 of them. There could be 10 more. The autumn is, like many other people, my favorite season to wear fragrances because you can wear pretty much everything, especially if you live in a cooler climate and get away with anything, really. These will be mostly amber fragrances, spicy, tobacco, iris, well, most of my favorite notes, really. And well, let's just start with probably the one fragrance I would keep wearing for the rest of my life with no issue at all. I would be happy wearing this every day, pretty much. But yeah, it's Dior Homme Intense. And this is the newer style of bottle. I've had an older bottle before, but I think mine is still one of the first ones when it changed bottles, so I think the batch is still... I don't really care about that, but many people ask, so mine is 0K01. I don't know, I've seen in some places that newer bottles had same batch numbers as older bottles, the latest older bottles, of course. But well, let's go to the scent. I have to make this video shorter because my videos have been kind of long. And yeah, this is one of my favorite scents of all time, really. It's a powdery, musky, woody iris in a nutshell. There's of course more to it. It's not that complex of a scent. It's pretty simple, but so well executed. The ambrette note here, which is a vegetal substitute for musks, it's just sublime to me. It helps with this pear-like note in the top, because ambrette can have fruity nuances. For example, Chanel number 18 is a great example of that. It's a great ambrette note, and it has like fruity, pear-like, boozy nuances. It's not boozy in Dior Homme Intense. There's this dusty, powdery cacao vibe about it, which is already present in the Eau de Toilette. In here, it's sweeter and a little bit more amped up, in my experience. The iris isn't like too buttery, too powdery, too makeup-y, not to my noses at least. I remember the first time I smelled Dior Homme Intense, I was taken back, like, this smells like my grandma's lipstick. But now I don't get that at all. I don't know if I've gotten used to this designer iris. But yeah, and then the cedar wood and the base just gives it this clean, well put together woody backbone. It's very well integrated with the rest of the notes, and it's just a fantastically done fragrance that I will always have this. It's Dior Homme Intense. Moving on with another designer fragrance that I love. I think patchouli is a perfect note to wear in the autumn. I don't know why, just the woody facets, the damp soil, the chocolatey nuances, it's a perfect note for the fall to me. And one of my favorite patchouli fragrances is Chanel Coromandel. And mine is the Eau de Parfum. I know a lot of people prefer the Eau de Toilette. I haven't tried the Eau de Toilette nor the extracts, so I can only speak for my Eau de Parfum, which I love. This is, again, one of my favorite patchoulis, but here I could put L'Instant Guerlain Eau de Parfum, or Eau Extrême as it was called before, Jovoy Psychedelique, many other patchoulis. There are a lot of great patchoulis. Profumo Roma patchouli is great also, I love it. Francesca Bianchi Sticky Fingers. There's a lot of patchouli out there, a lot of great patchouli. But this one it's a softer patchouli. It does have kind of damp soil nuances in the far dry down. But it's overall a very soft, classy, enveloping, warming. It's just so cozy to me. Patchouli with this white chocolate accord, the infamous white chocolate accord. That's built with a lot of benzoin, a touch of vanilla, and of course the collaboration of the florals going on here. There's a bit of rose, a bit of neroli. There's a sparkly orange up top with the Chanel aldehydes that just gives it a bit of pop when you first spray it on skin. And it's a fragrance that first off has a bit of lift, like many Chanel do, but then it's so enveloping and I just want to cuddle up to it. Velvety, silky, smooth patchouli with a bit of florals, a bit of incense as well, which gives it a bit of a cold nuance to contrast with all the warmth. It's a brilliant perfume, Chanel Coromandel. There's still a lot to cover. Let's go with a reference in terms of amber. This is really the pinnacle of amber, let's say. Even though it's probably not my favorite amber, it's definitely up there. My favorite amber is Ambra Aurea from Profumo Roma, by the way, which is not here because I don't have a full bottle yet, but I will eventually. But the reference amber, the one that inspired many other ambers for sure, it's Ambre Sultan by Serge Lutens. And Ambre Sultan, it's again a pillar in amber building fragrance. It's everything an amber should be. It's spicy and in such a tasteful manner. Many people describe this as a spice cabinet type of smell, like if you go to your mom's or to your grandma's house. At least in my experience, I do get that association with my grandma's cabinet of spices and herbs, because this has the oregano, which is not as pronounced as in something like Interlude by Amouage. A lot of people get a lot of oregano here. I don't personally, and I love oregano, but it has then a few spices, a melange of spices, I would say, but I don't get particularly like cinnamon or pepper or the most common spices. I don't get that here. There might be a bit of nutmeg or mace or I don't know. I'm not looking at notes, but the whole experience on me, on my skin, is this balmy, also powdery and vanillic, the balmy amber with a lot of this aromatic and spicy opening, then settles to a dusty, almost wood shaving sandalwood with those balmy resins and labdanum and powdered vanilla. It's brilliant. I will always have a bottle of Ambre Sultan. I just got this bottle last month actually. Finally I got a bottle. I don't know why it took me so long to get a bottle of Ambre Sultan, but well, I finally have it and I'm very happy about it. So Ambre Sultan by Serge Lutens. Now the autumn is great for spices. I think this fragrance is wearable year round, but I think it shines in the autumn. And it is also for me a reference in terms of spices. I think this is, to me, probably my favorite spice focused fragrance, and it is Amouage Epic Man. And Epic Man is this explosion of spices really, and Ramsey, you might know Ramsey here from YouTube, he describes this beautifully as if you're in the Silk Road and you're just in the middle of the desert around a bonfire, and someone just sprinkles spices into the bonfire, and for some reason a green fire just erupts. This is how he describes it, and I think it's brilliant as a description. To me, it also smells like, so if you've just came out of a very dark green forest, damp forest, into this dry desert, and you're carrying spices. Again, this fragrance is very evocative to me, and the wearing experience is just something special. It's a brilliant spicy fragrance that's sneaky strong on me, because sometimes I go nose blind to this really fast, but I know it's me who's gone nose blind, because I've had my girlfriend complain about how strong this was, and she asked me what the hell I was wearing that was so strong, and I had one spray of this in my arm. Well, but I just love this. It's a lot of pink pepper and black pepper and mace and nutmeg, and the mace is the outer shell of the nutmeg, and it smells similar to nutmeg, but it has like this more zingy profile, in my opinion. There's also a lot of saffron, which smells very fiery and connects beautifully with the leather in the base. And it's actually hard to describe besides the explosion of spices. It has this brilliant opening. It's very vibrant up top, but then it gets darker and darker and darker as it dries down. It goes into that woods leather dry down, which is amazing. I think this is an amazing fragrance. I should wear it more often. But yeah, Epic Man, it's incredible. Moving on to another fragrance I couldn't live without. This is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. Again, like I said, with many of the ones I've talked about, and still a few ones that are coming up, but it is what it is. And it is Musc Ravageur from Frédéric Malle. And this is just, it's my thing. It's, again, this is a more recent bottle. I've had the opportunity to smell older ones from my friend Ricardo at Embassy Perfumery. He has older bottles with still the matte cap with the lettering around it. On my skin, and this is just my experience, on my skin, the older bottles, the older formulations don't smell that animalic as people describe it, don't smell that pissy as people describe it. They smell actually very close to the one I have, and this one is fairly recent. It has, I don't know, 2 years, 1 year and a half maybe. But they smell pretty much identical, and I sprayed. I was wearing mine actually, and Ricardo fetched his older bottle and gave me for me to try. And my skin eats up animalics and makes them disappear. I don't know why. I don't know why really, but that's what happens, and enhances the spices and the vanillas. So this is a big amber perfume. This is all about vanilla and spices, but it opens up top with a mandarin orange, a juicy, bright mandarin with a lot of this smooth, sweet lavender. It isn't a sharp, harsh lavender, not in my experience at least. So this, and right away the cinnamon and the cloves come along and heat it up. This is a very warm fragrance on my skin, and I just love it for that. It's so cozy. I wear this a lot to bed actually. So after I go and have a shower, I put this on and I go to bed, and I'm just so comforted by it. There's also, of course, a lot of musk and amber in the base, but yeah, Musc Ravageur is a fragrance for life, and I don't think it needs much more to say about it. Now, in a similar vein, and I'll explain why, this I've acquired recently-ish, like a month or two ago, and it's also a huge amber, but in a very cozy way. It's delicious. I know delicious isn't really a way to describe a fragrance, but it is delicious. And it is Papillon Bengale Rouge. And like I said, it was following with Musc Ravageur, because when Musc Ravageur launched, a lot of people compared this to Shalimar. I don't think they're that similar, to be honest. I love Shalimar. It's brilliant. It's a hallmark vanilla. I don't think Musc Ravageur is quite in that space, but Bengale Rouge is in that space, in the sense of having this very bright and effervescent, I think it has bergamot, but it smells more orange-ish in the opening. and it stays like this fizzy nuance throughout the fragrance, but it fades down, and then also has a lot of vanilla, but the vanilla here is not as in the forefront as it is in Shalimar, for example, and it doesn't have as much labdanum as Shalimar has, which can make it a bit more leathery animalic, as some people describe it. This one doesn't go quite there. So Liz Morse describes this as her smelling her cat Mimi, and her cat being left with the remnants of all the fragrances that she wears, and she wears a lot of Shalimar as well. So Bengale Rouge is essentially, to me, a different experience to Shalimar, but in the same ballpark, which opens up again with that sparkly, fizzy citrus top, and then settles down to this is very photorealistic to me in my mind for some reason. It smells almost like bread, like a sourdough bread, drizzled with honey and a little bit of cinnamon on top. I don't think there's cinnamon here, but the combination of the myrrh, which can have this fermented aspect to the smell, hence the sourdough bread, with the tonka beans, giving it this almondy, bready sweetness. I don't know, to me it smells like honeyed bread with a little bit of cinnamon, and it's very warming and cozy. It's just, this is another one that I've been wearing after the shower to bed because it's just that warming. And I think this for fall, as it has that fizz up top and the warming base, is just perfect. So Bengale Rouge from Papillon Artisan Perfumes. Going back to Iris, this is probably one of my favorite Iris fragrances ever, just because it interests me the most. And I've talked about it here and there, and it is Iris Cendré by Naomi Goodsir. And this is a very, it's a very cold and austere iris, not in the style of Chanel No. 19, for example, but because that's more green and powdery and also very cold. This one is also very cold, but it's in a different way. So up top it also has a little sparkle of something like a bergamot or a tangerine, but it's not too sweet on my skin. Like that sparkly citrus opening fades right away. It's like this ignition of something, like you're igniting something, and then the cold iris and violet. This is more of a violet fragrance than an iris fragrance, even though the iris is also very present. It's powdery, it's dusty, it's cold, it's rooty, earthy, but the violet leads it into this more papery scent profile. This is a very papery scent to me, and it is a very melancholic, introspective kind of scent for some reason, because it also has these ashy, slightly smoky nuances, but this is not a smoke fragrance, like for example Bois Says is from Naomi Goodsir as well. It's more of a papery, powdery, cold iris with a lot of violet and a little hint of an ambery base and ashy nuances. It's really interesting to me. It again, very cozy to me. I think autumn is about coziness to me, really. It's the transition season between the happy summer that was miserably hot and then slowly fading into the rainy, sometimes snowy winter. And this is a perfect transition scent. It's beautiful. One of my favorite iris fragrances. I still have a lot to experiment, but iris is my favorite note. And I love this one, Iris Cendré by Naomi Goodsir. Now to something a little bit more light and soft. I believe fougère fragrances, so barbershop fragrances, as many people call them as well, are perfect for transitional seasons, so for spring and autumn. I think they're perfect. And one of my favorite fougères is MDCI Invasion Barbare. And this was actually my scent of the day today. And this is a very soft fougère. It isn't as harsh and sharp and clean. It is very clean. My girlfriend always tells me how I smell like a clean man when I wear this. And it's true, it's a very clean fragrance. But it's very soft and powdery. So up top there's a little hint of a grapefruit. This, to me, the citrus isn't prominent here, but there's a little hint of a grapefruit, more of the rind of the grapefruit. It's not a juicy grapefruit or anything. And then the spices kick in. There's a little bit of cardamom, and I believe there's a bit of pink pepper and ginger. So they are softer spices in character to me. And then this, again, very soft lavender. It doesn't smell harsh or cleaning product like, or really like Barbasol or barbershop products like many other fragrances do. It doesn't go in the direction of, for example, Paco Rabanne, the green bottle, which I love. I think that's a reference fougère. But then this is softened by this powdery vanilla. I think the powdery vanilla and the violet, this also has quite a bit of violet, which gives it this more airy, dry aspect to it. They make the scent. So this is, for me, primarily a violet fragrance with a soft, sweet-ish lavender with a bit of powdery vanilla, and I love it. And it was my scent today because I was just feeling like it. And actually, I'm having a company trip, or I'm going to Bologna in Italy with my company, and I'm bringing this with me. I think this will be a perfect choice. And yeah, I just love this one year round, but I think spring and fall is when this one shines the most. So MDCI Invasion Barbare. Now this one could be more for the winter time because it's a very thick, goopy, sweet perfume, but it's done in such a way that first of all, I like to wear it all year round. You might be surprised because of the scent profile, but I don't know why I like to wear it. I've worn this in the heat, like many others. I've worn them in the heat with no issue. I just wear the fragrances whenever I feel like it. But it's Vanille Havane from Les Indémodables. This is just one of the best chocolate notes, one of the best chocolate accords that I've tried. The way the Cocoa Absolute was extracted from the ultrasound technology that they have in the Atelier Français de Matière, I don't know, it's a cacao different from any other chocolate or cacao fragrances that I've tried, and there are a lot of great cacao fragrances, like Russian Oud from Aris Doré is brilliant. Bortnikov has a lot of brilliant cacao fragrances. Sorriso from Parfum Roma is it's more of a vanillic chocolate than a cacao, but yeah, there are a lot of great chocolate fragrances, but I think the way the cacao chocolate is done here is beautiful. Like, it opens up with this boozy, because it's combined with rum, this very boozy chocolate liqueur up top. It's very realistic chocolate liqueur up top, and then it slowly transitions into this jammy jasmine. For some reason it's a bit jammy and almost fruity on my skin, because it also has a bit of dried fruits. I think it connects with that jasmine that smells a bit jammy on my skin and not really indolic or not too floral. It's jammy, I don't know. And then it has this slightly leathery base, and it's just so well balanced and so well done for a scent profile with a bit of tobacco as well. For a scent profile so usually dense and heavy, this is just done beautifully. Yeah, I dismissed it at first when I first tried it, I don't know, 3 years ago or something, I don't remember. Or 3 or 4 years ago, I don't remember. But I dismissed it. I thought like, okay, it's another tobacco and vanilla. We've seen that, it's tobacco vanille 20.0. But no, and that's why I have a full bottle, because I love it that much. I think I will always have this, to be honest. It's Vanille Havane from Les Indémodables. Last but not least, but this one I left it to last just because I don't have a full bottle. I've had a full bottle, funny story, that I've received at an event for a perfumery in Lisbon, not really for the brand itself, but they gave away a bottle to everyone who attended. And since then, just hearing, because I was with Thibaut, well, the founder and owner of Maison Crivelli, and this is Ambre Chromatique. I was with Thibaut that time, so explaining the fragrance and the ingredients. We smelled each and every one of the ingredients present in the formula, the pink pepper and the davana, the bourbon vanilla. There's quite a bit going on here. We smelled every ingredient separately, so it was a great experience. And yeah, all this to say that the store in Lisbon, Skin Life, gave us a bottle, but my mom snatched it up, so she loved it that much that I just left it. I left the bottle with her, so yeah, there's that. But I do wear it when I go back to Portugal, to their house. I wear it from time to time, but for now, to me, I just bought a 5 ml atomizer because it's all I need really with my collection. But it's for some reason this speaks to me. It's a very spicy scent, okay? Very, very spicy. The pink pepper really jumps out, and it is a very photorealistic pink pepper. I almost get also a Sichuan pepper. I don't remember if it's listed or if it was used in here, the Sichuan pepper, but it has this fiery, zingy, spicy opening. And there's a huge incense note. Like, the incense in this is no joke. I don't know if it's real Aldebaran or not, but it has the characteristics of it. It's zingy, slightly lemony in some aspects, but very cold. It's a very austere, cold incense heart here. And it's a huge fragrance, and this is also why I only need a 5 ml. It's a huge fragrance, like all of the extracts from the Maison Crivelli, which I'm not a big fan of this line, but I love Ambre Chromatique. I prefer the Eau de Parfums. And then enveloping this cold incense, there's the Bourbon vanilla, and the vanilla here isn't an ice cream sweet cake vanilla, no. The vanilla from Bourbon, at least the one I've tried from Maison Crivelli that Thibaut gave us to smell, it's like this almost leathery, slightly olive-like smell. I don't know if this will make sense to you, but if you ever get the chance to smell an extract of Bourbon vanilla, which is from the island of Bourbon, it doesn't mean that it was bathed in bourbon. That would be nice to experiment. I'm sure someone has done that, but yeah, it's this almost leathery, almost green in a way, olive-like vanilla. It does have the vanilla nuances, of course, the more sweet touches of vanilla, but it isn't a sweet ingredient. It's more of a bitter one in this fragrance. And there's this almost suede stone fruit, peach-like osmanthus in here as well. It's a fragrance that speaks to me. I don't know why. I'm not a fan of the extraits from Maison Crivelli, but I love this one. And I think incense and spices and amber just just go perfectly with autumn. So yeah, Ambre Chromatique by Maison Crivelli as my last one. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you've tried these. Let me know if you like them or you don't like them. Let me know your favorite fragrances for autumn. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye, guys.